marketplace of ideas, and freedom of speech poses a threat to the left. That is why the left doesn't want free speech, they want control. The internet has done more to educate people than the education systems. The internet has always posed a threat to the establishment, just like the printing press, but the internet has done a lot more. The problem is any medium, any institution, etc., with good ideas can be corrupted by evil, and we will find the situation with the internet. Leftist internet censorship has been becoming more often, and it's no longer a conspiracy theory, it's already been proven. Many people worry if whether or not the internet can survive. But there have been many attempts to turn the internet into a left-wing echo chamber. Last week, it was confirmed that those on the right get shadow banned while the left does not. This got the attention of President Donald Trump. He tweeted, "Twitter shadow banning prominent Republicans. Not good. We will look into this discriminatory and illegal practice at once." Many complaints. Twitter denied all allegations and claimed that they are not targeting individuals based on what they say or their politics, but that they're just basing it all on behavior. But how do you define shadow banning? See, Twitter's playing word games with the term shadow banning. The idea of shadow banning is where instead of banning somebody, and let's say for example, you are on Twitter and you do something that supposedly or actually violated the terms of service and broke the rules, your account will just be suspended, and by suspended they mean banned. But shadow banning doesn't necessarily mean they suspended your account. But when you tweet something, the only people that can see your tweets are pretty much your followers. But even sometimes your followers can't see your tweets, and even sometimes you can't see your own tweets if you've been shadow banned. How Twitter was able to do this was by using a quality filter. And when a user logs into Twitter, the quality filter is automatically turned on. So how Twitter implemented their shadow banning is to include their definition of anything that would be picked up by the quality filter. Not just some sleazy teenager spamming the word fuck around, but what they actually call people that engage in trolling or unhealthy conversations. Be reminded that the people who are tweeting are not violating the rules because Twitter suspends people quickly. They shadow ban specifically the RNC chair and Trump Jr. spokesman. Something that just happened a couple days ago with Alex Jones being banned from Facebook, YouTube, and by corporate monopoly Apple services. Keep in mind, Alex Jones and InfoWars were not hardcore. They hated identity politics, opposed ethno-nationalism, opposed the alt-right, and other aspects of the dissident right crowd. And they were your typical Democrats are the real racists, Democrats are the real homophobes type of news. Alex Jones has never advocated for anything illegal or anything that could be considered hate speech. Alex Jones has even kept swearing at a PG-13 level. Alex Jones has been around for a while, and he gets banned now all of a sudden at the exact same time by different companies. Sarah Jiang could literally tweet anti-white statements on Twitter and not get banned from anywhere at all and not even get fired. Many people on the right didn't really speak out that much when the Daily Stormer was ran off the internet and onto a deep web after Charlottesville, but they didn't realize that it started with the Daily Stormer, then it later went to altright.com, but then what was next? Amran, and then who could have been next? It could have been a affirmative right blog spot owned by Colin Liddell and Adino Wiki, but that went down when they were calling themselves alt-right blog spot. And then you never know what could be next. It could be Return of Kings, then later VDare, and then InfoWars, and then Breitbart News, and soon it's coming for all of us. On Facebook, many gun rights activists were stating that the reach of their posts by as much as 50% despite growth in their following. Same with that page Leftist Memes. His page was getting less views when he makes a post, and sometimes Facebook removes a like on his page for every like that he gets. Lauren Southern received a 30-day ban on Facebook just because she complained about a friend's account being censored. So she was censored for complaining about censorship. A pro-Trump group was also banned for saying that Trump is not anti-Muslim, but is anti-ISIS. His post was removed and he was banned on Facebook. A young conservative kid by the name of CJ Pearson had his account locked for posting a video supporting Rudy Giuliani's criticisms of Obama. Facebook called his post suspicious activity. Rocking Mystery has not gotten any likes, has gotten less likes on his posts despite the increase of likes on his page. People on the left are quick to say that Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter are private companies, and therefore they can ban whoever they want. But they are opposed to private businesses like bakeries refusing to serve a gay wedding cake to a homosexual couple. These are double standards that the left are more than willing to push because it serves their morally failed agenda. And let's face it, without double standards, the left wouldn't have standards at all. Let's also not forget that a lot of these big tech companies are in partnership and have outsourced many of the censorship to both the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, two Jewish left-wing organizations. The truth of the matter is, the left have always tried to censor anything that counters their narrative. They do this by infiltrating and subverting organizations, appealing to initial standards of freedom of speech. We saw this in the 60s when a lot of those hippie leftists wanted freedom of speech. But now that they have gained a lot of control, you see that the left are opposed to freedom of speech because they say we can't let hate to get out there. We have to stop racism, bigotry, and sexism, even if it leads to an inevitable backlash, losses, etc. Despite Twitter's plummeting share price, they still created a safety council ran by social justice warriors and professional agitators like Anita Sarkeesian. You had Black Lives Matter making death threats to police officers and white people on social media, but still managed to get their own emoji on the site less than a day after 5 Dallas cops were shot and killed 2 to 3 years ago. Most accounts, whether we were talking about Facebook or Twitter, any posts that talk about assassinating Donald Trump or kill white people when reported, they will say that none of those things violate their community guidelines. A Christian page once had a meme that said convert, and it had like a picture of some monarchist with like electricity coming out of his eyes, and it got banned because Facebook claimed it violated their community guidelines. But when a satanic leftist page was reported for having a cover photo of Satan eating Jesus at the Last Supper, they weren't banned, and the photo wasn't taken down at all, because Facebook claimed that it doesn't violate their community guidelines. YouTube, which is owned by Google, does the exact same thing that all of these other social media websites do. Both the United Nations and the European Union push a lot of these big tech companies to also censor all of which they consider hate speech. But the term hate speech can go to you criticizing anyone for anything, when in reality, hate speech always meant threatening violence to another group. But now, it can be hate speech. Anything that's conservative and right-wing could be classified as hate speech. Anything that involves you criticizing any racial, religious, or ethnic group for anything, except for whites, males, and Christians, or all three of those combined, it will be classified as hate speech. If you criticize Islam, talk about the JQ, or even criticize the LGBT movement, your video can be flagged, your video can be placed in limited state, or what YouTube does is that they will make your video hard to find. I've experienced this, and so have many others I've known. When Six Hexenhammer 666 made an anti-censorship alliance, I'm not sure how many of you remember this, but I was a part of that alliance in April 2017. And right after all of our channels grew and Sticks promoted us, and we promoted others who weren't members of the Anti-Censorship Alliance, but they were our favorite YouTubers, YouTube began deleting all of the subscribers of those who participated in the Anti-Censorship Alliance. All of the people in the Alliance have their videos up right now where they have demonstrated when YouTube deleted their subscribers. I went from having like at least almost 1,900 subscribers around there to 500 in just one day. And later on 8 p.m. it literally went down to 200 something. And every time I was refreshing my YouTube page, every time I was refreshing it, I would keep losing more and more subscribers. YouTube does this to destroy your incentive to create YouTube videos, especially when you are somebody who relies on ad revenue. And it's also to stop views from coming in. And again, what would be the point of you making any videos if nobody's watching it? So there's an agenda to control information, and for only certain information to get out there. Not only to create an echo chamber and stop opposing viewpoints, but there's a lot more to it. Let's also not forget that now that the mainstream media is no longer as popular as they were before, so many people are turning towards the alternative media. CNN is a direct competitor of InfoWars, and they agitated for the censorship of Alex Jones and all of InfoWars, but yet CNN has the nerve to complain about censorship and intimidation of the press when Trump talks about fake news, but yet they are lobbying to eliminate a direct competitor. But anyhow, the solutions to end the censorship problem will be to keep donating to your favorite content creators if they have a Patreon, and share their videos as much as possible to increase their views.